How direct are you with your players?
Direct. They come here because they want me to keep it real. Now, they don't always like when I keep it real with them, personally, but I try to tell them, if you do that, you're not playing. I'm just telling you right now. This is how I need you to play and how you need to play for you. Like this. If you do that, and when they do it, stop. That's what's going to get you out of a game. Don't say I take you out for errors. I take you out when you do something like that, when you know better, but you can't help yourself. Then you're going to come out of the game. I tell them, if they take a crazy shot, make it, because maybe I'll leave you in, but you better make it. And the chances of them making that crazy shot are slim and none, so they normally won't take it. But I try to keep it real. I mean, if a guy is enthusiastic in this and this, but his numbers are like, look at your numbers. You're playing hard, you're doing this, you're never getting a rebound, you're not blocking a shot, you're not doing anything. You don't deserve to be out there. And you gotta earn that right. I can do that because I never promise anybody starting positions, minutes, shots. We're going to run the offense through you. We're going to put your name in the rafters. I don't promise anybody that. Never have. Never back from my UMass days. So I can keep it real. If a kid doesn't earn a starting spot, he doesn't start. We've probably started in my time 25 to 30 freshmen. So if you're good enough, I play freshmen, but you better be good enough.
What's the biggest challenge in having so many talented players on one team?
That was 1 year I did that. And the challenge was, how do I make sure everyone eats? Not how do I make sure Karl-Anthony Towns is the #1 pick. So by doing that, every decision I made had to be about, how do I get these guys to share? How do I get them to understand it's not about volume? It's about efficiency. I hired an analytics guy that we did our stats daily and weekly and game time by efficiencies, not by volume numbers. I had to get the players to really understand what we were trying to do together, and in 20 minutes, they could feel full. Be who you are. No one on our team was the same. It wasn't like I had 3 players exactly the same. They were all different. And what ends up happening, they all eat. We win almost every game we play, set a record, had an historic season, and 7 of them go on to the NBA. The other 3 come back, one by injury, the others because they needed to, and they'll be in the NBA. So all 10 ate, and Karl was still the #1 pick of the draft, and 4 were in the lottery. So that's the challenge of what we do.
Are there times you won't start your best team on the court because there are certain guys that you believe deserve to play?
But I will tell you that maybe a really good player has to come off the bench because he doesn't match with the team and how they play, and he's better off coming off the bench, coming right in and doing it, versus starting with this team, and it kind of gets us a little screwed up. So there are combinations. Now, we keep that, though. So we have combinations in how they do. Now, last year was just different. I mean, I had to play 10 guys. How do you play 10? You can't substitute 10 and, shuffle. You can't do it. It's not, any coach knows you can't do that.
And why?
Because no one ever gets in a rhythm. Your team never gets any continuity. They never get the chemistry they need because you just keep shuffling.
Okay.
And why are you doing it? To be smart, or I want it to be about me, so I'm going to shuffle everybody, and it's about my substitutions. This isn't about me. This is, how do I get individual players to play their best? How do I get a group of players to be for one another? You got to figure out, how do I do this and succeed and not at the expense of these kids? These parents are putting their children to my care. I don't take it lightly. Some of them come from generational poverty. Their family and the history of their family have never been in anything but poverty.
Right.
And this young man comes along and has a genius, just like a pianist, just like Jordan Spieth's genius. He only stayed 1 year in college. He ruined college golf. Did you know that? Just like Steve Jobs, just like Bill Gates. These young men have a genius. My job is to get them to chase the genius and don't be afraid. If I walk in a home and I asked a young man, what do you want to be? I'd like to be an NBA player someday. Well, why are you embarrassed about that? Why would you be embarrassed? Because we make them feel that it's dirty. Why? Why not chase it? And if they go after a year and they can make it, what's the issue with that? Or they go after it and they fall a little bit short. They have no regrets. They did what they chose to do. They went after it. They had every opportunity. So the whole point for us, get in, man.
Right.
We'll help you get in, and we'll help you be prepared. But then it's on your shoulders to go prove who you are and what you're about.
For more clips from this interview, visit GrahamBensinger.com.